You know, when you're in Hollywood, as we all know, it had become about box office, and it can be very resounding, and it could push you into a category and into a corner. This is your lane. This is what you do, and this is what people want you to be, and this is what Hollywood wants you to be. And I made those movies.
Welcome back to What the Hell Happened to Them. This season, Dwayne The Rock Johnson marches on. I am your host, Patrick Skeyhill, and joining me in this corner, a smashing pumpkin, Joe Vekeman.
Aha, that's me. I smash pumpkins.
And on the audio boards is Lev Van Rensselaer, reminding me to remind you that you can email the cast at whathappenedtothemcast@gmail.com. All right, Joe, we got a special Rock episode this week. The Rock going for his Oscar bait. What movie is The Rock trying to win an Oscar with?
We watched The Smashing Machine.
With your guy, Benny Safdie.
Directed. He did not star in it.
Yeah.
It would have been fun if he was like The Rock's like manager. Like it's just like
All right, and give us the plot synopsis for this film.
It's a short one. The story of mixed martial arts and UFC champion Mark Kerr. All right.
Okay, well, that gets it across there. Yes, Joe and I have watched this movie at this recording less than 12 hours ago.
Yeah, it was pretty soon.
We also watched, in preparation, the documentary, also called The Smashing Machine, also about Mark Kerr, that was made like in 2002.
2002.
So Joe watched it before the movie. I watched it after the movie. And let me tell you, based on my experience of watching it afterwards, I am far less impressed with the main movie, having watched the documentary second.
Me too.
Well, you watched it.
I was kind of bored during the movie after watching the documentary. I'm like, oh, we're just going to pick your favorite scenes?
Yeah, listeners, if you haven't seen the documentary, you basically have if you watch the movie.
I would say the documentary is far superior and also a much quicker watch. It's 90 minutes as opposed to 2 hours.
Let's slow down here.
Okay, let's get into it, though.
I watched the movie. I went home, immediately watched the documentary. It opens up with this monologue by Kerr, and I go, I've heard this. Where the hell would I have heard
You did?
this? And I was like, oh, this is how the movie began. And I was like, oh, okay, well, you just wanted to start it off? Okay. And then they kept stealing lines from the documentary, and then they steal sequences from the documentary. And I was
the scene in the hospital in the waiting room, that is directly.
We'll talk about what things that changed between the two and why I think they changed. But I feel bad for the documentary because I was really bored. But it's not the documentary's fault. It was because I literally just watched it in narrative form, not 40 minutes earlier.
That's frustrating that you didn't get to enjoy the documentary because as someone who watched the documentary first, I was compelled and I needed to finish. I watched it in segments and I was like, I need to go back. I went to the bathroom for 10 minutes so I could watch it. Just like, this is so interesting.
It was insane. I've never seen. Did it say based on? I thought it was based on a book. Is that what it said in the movie, or did it say based on the documentary?
I believe it's just based on the documentary.
Okay, more like stolen from the documentary. We've talked a lot of time about sort of remakes and whatnot, and I'm like, well, I like The Shining. It's a good adaptation because it did a lot of differences. This is, if like were a book and they just like wholesale ported it, I would have hated that too. Like, all the stuff I was crediting Benny with, I'm like, oh, what interesting choices you got. No, they just stole it from the movie. Even, like, the interlocking sequences at the end between the fight and the... He stole that!
Yeah, I know, with the chin, when they're, like, sewing up the chin. It's, like, directly, like, ripped off from the
I just don't understand why he'd want to do it. Like, how boring must that be? As a creative, like...
I know. It was such a weird decision. And I wasn't really on board with it. And, like, imagine how underwhelmed I was the entire movie. I'm like...
You went in having watched it already, and you're like, I'm just getting this again? Surely some things must change.
The reheated version of it.
What? Insane. Like, just creatively insane.
Yeah.
From like an actually talented filmmaker. Why did he want to do that?
Very talented. Yeah.
It's like the Psycho remake. Like, why bother?
I would say the Psycho remake has like at least a little more credibility because it's like that's an actual experiment. He's like, can I do this like for wholesale, like the entire thing, and then can I have Vince Vaughn jerk off? And
it sucks because. The Rock is mostly doing a pretty interesting job. Like, when he plays these fucking weirdos, I'm all for it. I like it. Southland Tales, he's this really weird dude, and he was doing a lot of really weird stuff in here. And the performances from him I liked the most were lines that actually weren't in the documentary. Like, when he wanted to get that extra opioids from the Japanese guy. And then they're like, well, can I take these Advil? And then he'd like, you should take these, Emily Blunt. They're like, they give them out like candy. I don't know. There was something about that line where like I felt a lot of different things in his delivery. Like it was a really complex emotion behind that delivery line. Or when he was like trimming the cactus and he's like, why did you do this? I told you I wanted it to look like the Roadrunner cartoons. I thought that was genius.
Yeah. Okay. So, but in the documentary, you see him trimming the cactus, and you see him
trimming
take
a cactus. He's trimming like a regular-looking plant. There was no cactus trimming. They changed it.
But they have the knife in her.
They have the knife. Yes.
Yeah. The knife. It's such a weird thing to keep, like how he takes the knife and how they give the knife back.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what a weird detail to keep. And then you see her, like, you say Emily Blunt, like, half, like, heartedly, like, throw up a finger to him because she's, like, mad. But, like, in the documentary, it's just, like, she's, like, really letting it out. And I'm like...
Well, because I think and I noted this, the line ended up being in the documentary, but when she, in the movie, Emily Blunt, who I think is mostly giving a good performance as well. I liked what she was doing.
I liked her, too.
Yeah, she... says to her friend, like, you know what, I just miss, like, that I was the one who could take care of him. I miss when he needed me to take care of him. Immediately, I go, okay, you're a crazy lady. That is an extremely unhealthy, toxic thing to say. And the movie really wants to paint her as the villain and The Rock as totally blameless, trying to do the right thing. And I go, did The Rock just, like, there's supposed to be this gritty Oscar-winning performance, and he still can't help himself in being the nicest, most wonderful guy. Like, even his opioid addiction is, like, done in 30 seconds. It's like, oh, I think I might have some opioids. Oh, now I'm unconscious. Oh, I'm in the hospital. Oh, I'm crying with some bad acting.
And you know what? It was also handled, like, in the documentary, that whole situation is handled so much better. And I was, I really, like messed up from it because I'm just like, Jesus Christ, this guy just wants to, like, be healthy.
Well, I mean, like, in the documentary, notably, there's a scene where, like, he's drinking a beer and she's like, hey, should you be doing that? And he's like, listen, I work hard to stay sober, stay off the opioids. I just need this. So clearly it was definitely a more complex situation in real life, this dynamic between them. It wasn't just like, I know, and I like the sponsor scene where he's like talking on the phone to him and like trying to hide. And he's like, did you hear that? Did you? Like, it was funny. Yeah. It was amusing.
That got a lot of laughs in my theater.
It was funny and amusing, but it clearly is one-sided and really painting a picture of him as the really nice dude. And the movie even had to be like, when he loses in the feature, the announcer's like, you just gotta love the grit in that. Most people would have tapped out, but he wanted to put on a good show. He didn't tap out. They had to end the match. In the documentary, that never comes up. He just, like, loses. They don't bother to bring that up because they don't need to give this kind of false victory to it. But The Rock, even when he loses in his contract, he's like, you gotta make it, you gotta give me something, guys. Like, it was just so like, it was a really tame comeback story that isn't even that compelling to begin with. We don't really see him win a lot at the beginning. Then he's like, yeah, I never lose. And then he loses and he's sad about it. Then he gets addicted to opioids. And then he comes back. He's like, it's going to be my comeback. And then he just loses again. What is the takeaway from this thing?
2 matches and he lost the second one.
Like, what the... That wasn't... This wasn't like it. I was kind of confused why they made a documentary about it too. It just felt odd.
I don't know. I love the docu. I even, like, after I saw the movie, I gave the documentary 4 stars, and then I saw the movie and I gave the documentary 4.5 stars. I'm like, well, this is much better.
Like, and with the hospital scene, like in the documentary, it's just like 2 jabronis we've never met that I guess are his friends. But in the movie, they want it to be this Coleman guy that they really want to hamper home that friendship, which I think would have made a lot of more sense if they had met in the finals for whatever reason.
Yeah. I've heard this complained about so many times now.
I'm just confused. Like, I get that it didn't really happen, but then, like, why do you want to emphasize that friendship? Like, when he's training The Rock, this Coleman guy who ends up winning the whole tournament, he's training The Rock. It seems like they're good friends. He's flying out to the hospital. He's like, dude, fucking smarten up and don't do those drugs.
Yeah.
And then The Rock can't be in the tournament, and suddenly Coleman now has a spot to go in the tournament. And you're like, oh, is he gonna like rat out his friend? And he's like taking his friend's stuff, and like that's how he worms his way in. And now he's abandoned his friend because The Rock has a new trainer. I was like, oh, how interesting. What a weird dynamic will that be? No, they're actually just friends the whole time, and it's fine.
Yeah.
What? What?
I think what this is trying to say is that these people aren't as bloodthirsty as they're made out to be in the events when they're competing, and that they really have like this empathy for each other, and that they're actually like more like there's more camaraderie in the fighting, and they're just it's more of like a 9 to 5 for them. They're like, I go to work out and then I go to fight.
You know why I know that's what the movie's saying? Because 5 minutes in, that's exactly what The Rock says to an old lady at the doctor's office. That was also stolen from the documentary.
Yeah.
So if you're giving me the thesis and you're never making me think there's a contradiction to it, how great of how useful of a message is that? That could just be a little PSA.
So on a side note, this also tells me that Josh Safdie saw that Benny Safdie was approached by The Rock. Like they were probably both approached by The Rock.
Yeah.
And then Josh was like, Benny, why don't you handle this one? I'm going to go do my own thing.
I'm going to do a real movie over here, and you can do your dramatic reenactment.
Have fun with your recreation.
Yeah, I don't... As a big Safdie guy that you are, is this kind of like sting a little bit?
A little bit, especially when I was expecting more like Lenny Cook. Lenny Cook, the basketball documentary.
Okay.
And I didn't even get that.
Yeah.
I didn't even get that because I thought, and so in the trailer, I've seen the trailer a bunch of times now.
Okay.
The trailer opens with that hospital scene where he's like talked to by the old lady in the waiting room.
Okay.
And so when I watched the documentary first, I'm like, okay.
Okay.
And I was like, that's okay. That's interesting. That's very strange, but okay.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know. It's just very, very, very weird thing to do.
Was this The Rock's idea, or was this the Safdie idea? Like, who came up with the idea to redo a documentary? Because with the way the story ended up working out, I could see The Rock being like, I would love to do this. Let me find one of these artsy directors that are on the come, and, we can try to be my Oscar play.
Oh, my God. That's an interesting fact. So Benny Safdie left the... remember that Jason Reitman project last year, the Saturday Night Live movie?
Oh, yeah.
He was supposed to play Andy Kaufman, Benny Safdie.
I wouldn't have liked that. I mean, I don't know what his voice could be, but I don't see it currently.
Well, he left that to do this movie.
Okay. I would say overall, The Rock giving a mostly interesting performance. He didn't seem to be trying to steal it from the documentary. He made a lot of different choices. So I applaud him for that. He's not great at movie crying. He can't do that.
Oh, God. It was awful.
He can't. He can't get pushed
He grabs
too far.
the blanket and he puts it up in front of his face, and I'm like, because we can't look at your face to like watch you act.
And I think notably, the first time we see him cry is when he loses that fight. In the documentary, the actual Mark Hurt doesn't even cry. He just like puts his hand. And I think that would have been enough if The Rock had just like done that. Would have been totally fine. We would have gotten it. It would have given us so much. He had the slumped shoulders, the bad posture. He's looking away from the camera. Would have bought it.
It's so funny. So apparently, Dwayne Johnson reportedly began to weep after the film received a 15-minute standing ovation at the Venice Film Festival.
Oh, just like Megalopolis.
Did they not see the documentary?
Nobody saw the documentary. Glad The Rock gave a mostly good performance, but at the same time, he's playing a wrestler who's got a fixation on the public love. Mm-hmm. Is it really that far outside of his wheelhouse? Did he have to really dig deep to find a lot of the things he was doing here? So he's going for the Oscar play. He's making his character very likable. He's making all very safe choices in his casting. Don't fall for this, Academy voters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he gets his best friend to be his girlfriend in the movie.
Yeah.
Because he's like, we had good chemistry on the Jungle Cruise.
Yeah, great.
So this is another fact that's like boggling my mind, that apparently Dwayne Johnson lost approximately 60 pounds for this role. He lost weight. He's enormous. He takes up so much of the screen.
Certainly in the third act, the man looks gigantic. He looks bigger than Black Adam. But maybe early on it was less big. I don't remember. But certainly by the end, I was like, wow, this man's a truck.
Another thing with the trailer was, and so in the trailer I noticed that, I don't know, did you ever watch the trailer for this?
I don't think so.
Okay. So in the trailer, you see towards the end of it that he's bald. And I'm like, oh, so there must be like some kind of time jump because he lost all of his hair or something. Yeah. And then I watched the documentary. I'm like, oh, he just shaved his head off, his hair off in the like one of the last fights. And then in this, it's the same thing happens in this. And I'm like, okay, but they don't kind of tell you why he's doing it.
Nope. He just did it, and his wife asks about it, or I guess she wasn't his wife at the time.
Yeah.
And he was, where'd my baby boy go?
Oh, and what really drove me crazy was all the, like, the subtitling at the end where it's just like, and so at the end of the documentary, it's like, and Mark Kerr did not have another fight after 2001, and that he married Dawn after like a year or whatever.
Yeah.
And then oh, God, we're going to get into this part. So then in the end of the Benny Safdie movie, we have a Hurt Locker moment, apparently, where we go to a grocery store where he's just pushing around a cart looking at everything. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And I'm like, that's not The Rock.
Yeah, we got
that's
real Mark Kerr. Yeah.
Why are we watching Mark Kerr? Like, whose idea was this? Obviously, it was Benny's. And I'm like, this is...
We went back to the doc. He's like, yep, it is a documentary, guys. Gotcha.
Yeah, so much to the fact that Mark Kerr looks into the camera at the end of the movie and says, see you later, guys. And I'm like, what are we doing? What is this?
There would be so many movies where that would be like a really transgressive, interesting choice. And here it is just so eye-rolling.
I was very frustrated with that.
And then this movie said that he retired in 2009 from fighting. So do you know, did he like try to go back again and it didn't work out?
Yeah, I wish there was another documentary I could watch about this.
And then, shocker, they got divorced after 6 years of marriage. Who would have thought that relationship was extremely unhealthy? They do have one child together.
Yeah.
Nice, good for them. But that woman is definitely not. In real life, I'm sure he's not, all that much of a saint either, like the movie paints him. But like that was going to be a tough relationship to make work.
Yeah, it's just weird that it was 6 years. Wonder what else was like 6 years in a relationship if they had a kid.
So they're divorcing about 2 years before he retires the second time from fighting. So
yeah, it's funny because The Rock was pretty much done with wrestling when the documentary came out.
Yeah,
like the first time. So, which is always my point, that The Rock has been a movie star like 10 times longer than he was ever a wrestler. And it's just so funny that he's always thought of as a wrestler first.
It's just the precedent. I bet a younger generation will come up and they'll just think of him as tan shirt guy.
They'll think of him as the
tan shirt and jungle guy, white shirt and jungle guy. That'll be his thing.
He's the skyscraper boy.
Ironically, the things that they added to the movie, which was a lot of the personal relationship, like that was the stuff I liked most.
Me too. Carnival scene?
Yeah, like all this stuff. And he's just...
I have an upset tummy. I don't want to get an upset tummy.
I got a big tummy, and I just love this giant hulking man using the word tummy a lot. And he's asking the guy, he's like, am I going to have a bad tummy ache if I go on the ride? What should I do? And the guy's like, don't go on the ride, dude.
And then when he's on the carousel, he's like, this is much more my speed.
I loved all that stuff. I thought that was all great, this nice naturalistic moment in there. Benny clearly can write some interesting moments. So why steal so much from this documentary?
I have no idea.
How great this movie could have been if you just like found all the small moments.
Or just kind of like take liberties with it.
Yeah, the fighting could have been in the background. Like I didn't need that as much, especially since it didn't seem to add anything to this story. So
also, I think the fighting was kind of dog shit, especially compared to the documentary, where I was like, because in the documentary, you're seeing it like how it was probably on TV or pay-per-view back then, because it's fucking violent and brutal. There's like people's eyes being punched in, and like people are getting kneed in the head. And in this, it feels like the camera's always like trying to not look at it, and you're just kind of like seeing people like bury their knees into the ground. And I'm like, it takes away all the impact.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you rated a movie R, Do something with it. So there's like one scene where they're just like cursing constantly at each other. I'm like, okay. And then it's like they rated off for drug abuse. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, we saw him inject like one needle. 13-year-olds can't handle that. The movie's talking about how terrible it is to do that the whole time. Like, it's.
I mean, they showed that on House on Fox back like 20 years ago. Like, you saw needles going into people's arms all the time.
R-rated. Why? We wouldn't fight that? You should want this to be PG-13. R is going to make it even harder to make money.
Yeah. So I think this movie is not going to make any money.
You don't think it's trending well? I mean, it's only been 24 hours. We don't have a lot of numbers yet, but...
Yeah, well...
I don't know. I think it will be less Oscar buzzy once other movies start coming out. Like, maybe now it looks like a front... Maybe that's why they wanted it so early. They're like, we got to get ahead.
My theater was half full.
Yeah.
Which, like I told you, my One Battle After Another screening, the first on that Thursday opening day, whatever, was sold out.
I mean, that's fine. PTA's got his fanboys, you know?
Benny has some friends.
I mean, he has some, yeah. But PTA has the equivalent of a Marvel devoted audience. Like, I get it.
You think so?
I think
I would
so.
hope so. Show me the $100 million.
Yeah. Well, it's not as big, but it is as rabid, is what I am saying.
I would say that too.
Yeah.
But my theater, like, it was all wrestling buddies. I swear to God, I saw so many Rock like jerseys and T-shirts. I'm like, guys, what?
Exactly, the
Really?
devotees. It was like when I went to that Happy Gilmore 2 test screening, and it was all golf heads. It was all people really into golf. It was crazy.
Golf heads for Happy Gilmore 2, which, you know,
Had a lot of golfers in it.
a lot of Benny Safdie.
Because the golfers are like, man, we get no movies. We got Happy Gilmore and The Legend of Bagger Vance, and that's sort of it. That's like all we get.
The Legend of
Caddyshack.
Bagger Vance. What about,
Yeah, what about what?
wasn't there a Kevin Costner one?
A golf movie?
Didn't he do golf? I don't know.
I don't remember. Go look up famous golf movies.
I just think there's a golf one. Tin Cup. There is one. That stars Rene Russo, Kevin Costner, Don Johnson, and Cheech Marin. What a
Don
weird cast.
Johnson, wow.
Don Johnson in 96. Dakota was only 7.
Okay.
He needed to make some money so she'd go to school.
Well, yeah, the Miami Vice royalties weren't paying as much as he had hoped.
Well, maybe not.
Definitely not. Okay, so Emily Blunt, as much as I liked her performance, the movie's emphasis on downplaying her and upplaying The Rock as nice, humble guy, we lose a lot of the intriguing subtleties of that characterization, I feel. We don't really get to see many sides of that character, or as much as I think that a real-life person like that would have.
Yeah. Emily Blunt in this movie.
Yeah.
I liked her. They gave her the scenes that you see in the documentary, and then they gave her the titling where like she's like, oh, they had a fight and they couldn't get out of the house for 3 hours, and so then they didn't see each other for like a year or something like that.
Yeah.
We get that scene where they have that giant fight at the end of the movie, and he is trying to like stop her. Like, so I'm trying to like remember the order of events. So the fight before he goes to LA is the one with the sponsor, and she breaks the thing. And then the fight after LA is when she's like checked his answering machines, and it seems like he doesn't want to bring her to Japan. Yeah, and she's like freaking out. She's like, you just want to be out with all your buddies, and I'm never good enough. Then she locks herself in the bathroom, right?
No, well, so first she goes to get the guns, the one gun. In the documentary, it sounds like there were multiple guns, but in here, there was one gun. She tries, he stops her, then she goes to lock herself in the bathroom. In the documentary, he talks about that she was trying to cut herself with razors. In the movie...
Oh, yeah, like multiple times, like it like jabbed her arm with the razors.
In the movie, she's doing pills. I think if they wanted to keep on The Rock the whole time and follow him, we can hear the sound of the pill bottles happening and instantly know something's going on. So it's a reasonable change. I get it.
The scene where she puts the gun to her head, though, like my audience was like freaking out, and I'm like, guys, watch the documentary. Because it just all seems so performative at that point, and I'm like,
I mean, for the character, it definitely is performative. She is trying to get a very specific reaction out of him, and she feels like this is the only choice. I actually know somebody whose husband did the exact same thing when she tried to break up with him. It is a thing that is not uncommon for people like that. Like, and she's admitted, like, she needs to take care of him. That makes her feel useful. Like, that's what those people need. They give out the love so that they can get it back because they don't love themselves enough or think that they deserve it. So this is their way of, like, manipulating people into doing it.
Yet again, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah. So for her, it is performative. Like, she is waiting for The Rock to come up and take the gun out of her thing, but she, like, really goes with it and, like, has to really sell it. Unfortunately, it gets her sort of thrown into the loony bin temporarily, but that is the price of that type of neurosis. Mm-hmm. So, and I'm not expecting the audience people to see the documentary, so I'm not going to get on them on that. The audience was super pumped in my theater when he's like, pack your bags, you gotta go. They were like, yeah, get her out of there. Woo!
The bros.
They were like really in it. They were like, fuck that bitch, get her out of here.
Wow, that's such a weird reaction.
But that was the only notable reaction. People, they laughed at, certain moments, but that was the real notable reaction throughout the film.
I would say this movie was a letdown for me.
Yeah.
Big letdown, but I enjoyed The Rock in it, though.
His performance is sort of wasted. I mean, it's not a hard performance for him. It also was like opportunistic for his first Oscar play to be a biopic, because those are always, they get like bonus points for Academy voters. So it was just like he felt like he was doing everything in his power to make this one like go off.
There's one specific scene.
Yeah.
It's towards the end of the movie. He's training with Boss Rutan, who plays himself.
That's
25
cool.
years later. It's a very strange choice as well to do that.
I was like, wow, these guys look really similar. They just got like a wrinkly actor that looks like him. That's impressive. But it's the actual dude.
Yeah, that's the real dude.
I just like,
it's
why?
so weird because the weirdest thing is when they're having like before the big like fight, the first big fight at the end, like the Grand Prix thing,
the one he wins.
Yeah, he has to say this speech about Mark Kerr that he gave in the documentary. Like he's like just reciting lines he said 25 years ago. Yeah. And I'm like, this must be so weird for this guy to be like, oh, I have to just recreate what I said. He's like, no, you're just going to repeat it. Like, you're just going to say exactly what you said. And it's weird choices. And it's just, it's because the movie's not a documentary. It's not trying to be like recreate a document, like feel. I guess there's more handheld stuff, so it kind of gives that impression. But
that was the other thing that sort of annoyed me. I was like, oh, I like the kind of these like zoom ins he's doing. Like, it's a really neat kind of style. It's sort of like fly on the wall. Like, what an interesting way to approach it. And then when I saw he just copied the documentary, I'm like, well, of course he's making that choice. He's stealing everything else from the documentary. You might as well shoot it like a documentary.
Weird.
He's like, we're going to dramatize it, but we're still going to make it as much of a documentary as possible. We're even going to cast non-actors to play themselves again.
It was a big shrug and a for me.
I am glad I watched the movie first to make that a more enjoyable experience. One enjoyable moment. But I am also glad that I watched the documentary before I logged the movie.
Yeah.
Because I would have to go back and change my star rating. It dropped maybe a whole star because of the copycatism of it. Like all these things I was crediting the movie for, I'm like, well, you just stole it.
Yeah.
You asshole. You just took it.
So what a weird thing to do.
Insane. Bold, but also stupid. Boldly stupid.
I mean, it's not a very famous documentary, so I guess he's going to probably get away with it.
Yeah, maybe most people won't realize.
His movie's so authentic. And I'm like, ugh.
But I'll have to shout it from the rooftops. Watch the documentary!
You'll enjoy it. It's really good.
It was a documentary first!
And it's even named The Spashing Machine. He just took the title.
He even really tried, Benny. You didn't even... Just wow. It's
wowzers. A real copy and paste situation here. I didn't want to do my homework. I copy and pasted.
It just could not have been fun to do. Why would you do that? That would drive me insane if I were directing this thing.
What did he won an award at Venice too for directing. He won like the Golden Lion or Silver.
This does not deserve that. Maybe they didn't see the documentary. Maybe it didn't travel internationally. Wow. Underwhelming. Good Lord. Yeah. Okay. You want to do a little Drew Carey musical licensing issues?
Let's do it.
Moon over Parma, bring my love to me tonight. Guide her to Eastlake.
Now, you know, Drew, it's been a little quiet in Drew Carey season 7 after the initial, 8 episodes of nonstop musical licensing issues.
Yeah.
Drew Carey was at a fancy party, and there was fancy party playing music, and I was like, I wonder if this has been changed at all. Let me check. And I actually can't tell, because I tried to, sync them up times, because it sounds like similar-ish, but also slightly different. But also, I don't know if I'm making that up. So I tried to play them simultaneously, and I couldn't really tell. So that might have had to change, but if that had to change, I don't understand why. It's just very generic piano music. And then in the next episode, Kate works at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and her and the gang find an old lost record of Elvis singing Jewish folk songs.
Oh.
And they were allowed to keep those in. But that makes sense, right? Because these are folk songs, so they don't have a copyright. But I'm just like, okay, it just seems like these generic or copyright-free, I don't know. What piano music did you put in that was not from your studio library, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, a lot of episodes, nothing going on. But then there's an episode where they get trapped by some dogs in their basement. Wild dogs chase them into the basement. They have to hide. They hide there all night. And they start off by singing Jeremiah was a bullfrog, but it's to the tune of Drew, don't make us play Risk. They're talking about Drew, we don't want to play Risk, but to the tune of Jeremiah Bullfrog. That gets cut,
yeah.
Including all the stuff that leads up to them singing the song. So they don't even bother with Drew trying to offer to play Risk. They just hard cut.
I can't imagine watching this show.
Yeah.
With all this stuff cut out.
And then they come back and now it's 6 hours later, it's the morning, and they're sort of tiredly singing the Let's All Go to the Lobby song. And then one of them goes, looks at their watch, and they go, oh, look, I can't believe it's already morning. But they just cut to the, oh, look, I can't believe it's already morning. It definitely feels like you missed something. Now, I've seen the show way too many times, so I knew that was in there. And I definitely felt the gap. But I would imagine an audience would too. So there you go. That's our musical licensing disputes here. Not too many. This time, like I said, they slowed down a bit. Maybe a lot of their budget got used in those early episodes. Watch it on Plex to support it, but if you really want the real experience, find them from our good friend Media Junkie Josh. R.I.P.
R.I.P.
Yeah, they took them down off YouTube, but if you keep searching, you can find some creative spots where they have been hidden. All right, Joe, do you have any last looks on the Smashing Machine?
On the Smashing Machine?
On the Smashing Machine.
I hope he puts out a commentary for this, and I just want to listen to the commentary because I'm so curious. I hope he answers a lot of questions. Yeah. You got last looks?
Why does The Rock do this movie? I feel like I've discussed it a lot already because he wanted to win an Oscar, and there are very many things we can point to be like, yep, clearly he wanted to win an Oscar here.
Do you think he gets the nom?
I hope not, but we'll see what else comes out.
It's kind of a little bit.
Okay, you know what? I think I am being a little too harsh. I'm mad at the movie, and I would be fine with The Rock getting the nom.
It'd be pretty huge for him.
I probably won't think he should win, but I would have no problem if he got the nomination.
You want to know why?
Why?
He won't win? Because this is Leo's second Oscar, baby.
Yeah, that's a performance I'm not super interested in either.
Fine, give it to Benicio for a Phoenician Scheme.
Yeah, give it to him. Benicio's doing some more interesting things. Leo, I'm not impressed with the choices he's making. Not that they're bad. He's not performing badly. It's just nothing is standing out about the performance to me.
When he jumps, he's running on the rooftops with the skateboarders, and then he goes to jump with them, and then he falls from a tree, fucking 40 feet. But he gets up, and it's all on camera, and you're like, did that motherfucker just fall that far down? And then my big laugh line is when they're asking his name, and he's like, what? He's like, what's your last name? And he's like, Batman. And he's like, no, what's your last name? He's like, Peter Parker. Okay. He's just being a dickhead. Good stuff.
Yeah, the other thing the movie felt the need to do, in the documentary, they're like, $200,000 is the prize money. And that's sort of the end we hear of it. But in the movie, they're like, a life-changing amount of money, a life-changing... They really wanted us to know what the stakes were.
Yeah, and in the documentary, they also mentioned that Mark Coleman, like, has 2 kids, and he's, like, kind of down on his luck, and he, like, this would be, like, huge for him if he won, and he needs this to, like, take care of his kids.
Yeah.
So it's such a, like, a really uplifting moment when he does win, and you're like, okay, that's cool. And then like, Mark Kerr's like, oh, I'm happy for my friend that he won. And that's just nice. But we don't really get that in this.
It seemed like, at least for the movie, the goal was like the real drug is the crowd or the real drug is winning, victory. But a lot of that felt like it was lost or it wasn't really sort of dug up enough. It didn't have a big enough presence in the movie because he just gets over this drug so quick and it feels like it's very reasonable for him to want to get back into the thing he's good at doing. Mm-hmm. The documentary explained that the event in Japan, the league in Japan, was actually a really huge, big deal. It was bigger than in America at the time.
Yeah,
but
huge.
My guess in the movie was like, oh, he was starting off in the UFC there, and then like something happened, and now he's down on his luck, and like he has to slum it in Japan. That was my takeaway. And like maybe he got really hurt in there, and that's why he's on the opioids, and like. But there's no connection to why he's on it.
Yeah.
There's not a clear delineation, and then he just like gets over it. It doesn't even seem like he might relapse. Like I don't.
It's so weird.
It could have been a really good film. They could have done it if they had just taken more poetic license with the source material.
Yeah.
But The Rock can't help himself. Can't do it. That's my last look. The Rock can't help himself. He needs to be liked by everybody. Even in this movie, where a man who needed to be liked by everybody didn't really get what he wanted out of life, The Rock has learned nothing from the experience.
Well, ding, 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 round 2. Benny Safdie's calling him back up. We're going to make another movie. That's what they said.
Okay,
so
well,
look forward to that.
Goes. I'd like to thank Lev Rensley for mounting those audio boards and keeping us sound so slippery smooth. I'd like to thank my co-host Joe Vekeman for stopping by.
No, thank you.
And I am your host, Patrick Skeyhill. You can find my features, documentaries, short films, video essays, animations, behind-the-scenes footage, and so much more at QuixoticUnited.com and social media, presumably with a similar-sounding name. Thank you all for listening. Joe, say goodnight.
Good night.
All right, Joe, you are fresh off your second viewing of One Battle After Another.
Oh, you see the smile after seeing like one of the greatest movies I've ever seen?
I see the smile on you. I see all the people on Letterboxd giving it 5 stars. Your critic guy said it was the best film of the decade or century or whatever he said.
He had to like really hone it in, so it's like the best studio movie.
Studio film of the century. Sell it to me, because I don't get it. I'm not getting it.
Oh my God, what's wrong with you? Do you not enjoy fun? Do you not like to have a few small beers?
I mean, yeah, it was a fine, fun movie, but...
That movie, after seeing it a second time, I know it's almost 3 hours, it goes by like this. It's incredible.
I did not feel that. I was just
I had a bad audience this time, though.
Oh.
The audience was just like not getting any of the jokes, and I was just laughing silently to myself. It was a little frustrating.
You should laugh loudly so that they're like, oh, it's like a sitcom, and then they'll know when to laugh.
You don't need to know when to laugh. There's fucking funny shit going on.
Apparently they do, so you got to help them out.
I don't know, because there was like just people wandering in at some point. Like there was someone that wandered in after Teyana Taylor's character gets caught, and I'm like, guys, you've missed like a half hour of the movie.
That's fine. That's all prologue. They don't need that.
That's insane that you said that.
I'm just playing.
That is so insane.
But I am a little worried because I am not on the same ride everybody's on. What am I missing? What's the thing that, like legitimately, like what is wrong with me that I'm not enjoying what everybody else is enjoying? What have I missed?
I was really hoping that you were going to surprise me and this is going to be like your first 5-star movie of like 2020, like this whole like decade. Really, I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with you. You're Are you more a Stephen A. Lockjaw guy? Like, are you just gonna stick up your ass?
I mean, I did like that character. I thought he was the most interesting part of the movie.
That's funny.
Everything else, I don't know. It just felt like overly plot heavy. I was like, less interesting Eddington. I don't know. I never got on The Bride.
That's the first time I've heard anyone say Eddington was better than this movie, because everyone's like shitting on Eddington now after this movie.
Editing, I think, was trying something, was trying to say something, was playing with themes a little more. This one ostensibly is just like Taken in the Eddington context.
Eddington is about kind of being addicted to your phone.
No, what I think Eddington is sort of looking at kind of that culture war in the broader sense. And then it also has this like media sub-theme. Like it's got a lot more going on in my mind. But maybe I missed something in this watch. I don't know. I was really like trying to focus in, and I really like Sean Penn. And I thought he was doing this really weird walk, and I was like in it.
It's the Vince McMahon walk. He's like a big swagger.
Yeah,
it's so funny.
It almost felt like he had a limp. I don't know. It was. I don't know. I praise Jennifer Aniston's performance in The Good Girl because she has this really weird walk that I'm just like totally down with. And Sean Penn.
Did you rewatch that recently?
No, it just like has always been in my head.
Yeah, that's a very old movie
For like 20 years, so it's just like in there. And Sean Penn was doing a weird walk too, and I'm like, I like it when the characters like really get in the physical sense of their characters. Like I believe that character would walk like that.
So you didn't like Leo at all?
I mean, like I thought it was funny, this like burnout who can't remember all the secret spy stuff. Like I found that amusing, but nothing in the. I don't know. Maybe you shouldn't have told me that one guy was like best studio film of the century or whatever. I mean,
because it kind of is. What else competes? I guess. What is a better studio movie for you?
I don't know. Like I haven't thought about it, but like that just feels like such a giant thing to say. Like maybe I went in with too high expectations. But then again, I was seeing everybody giving it 5 stars, so there's not even like 1 4-star, 3.5. It's all just like 5, 5, 5, 5. So I don't know what I'm.
Because
I don't know.
It's not only, it has so much to say, but it's also really fun, and it doesn't just like make you sit there for a while, and it doesn't like, there's nothing like, there's evil stuff happening, but it's like, you're always along for the ride. It's not like trying to make you like just shove your face in it.
I mean, I did appreciate that. I'm like, okay, it could have gone in a very didactic sense, and it didn't do that. So like that was nice.
Which never is his vibe anyways.
Yeah, but at the same time, I didn't feel like it was actually saying all that much. I guess that was my problem. Like, at least Phantom Thread, which is a movie I find really boring, at least it was like looking at this weird, this like love of like a form of love can be hurting somebody, or, you know, this kind of like weird semi-toxic relationship that yet still works somehow. Like, I can appreciate that, and it was doing something a little out of the ordinary here. I could understand why Warner Brothers was willing to treat this like a studio film. The script feels very studio to me. Not necessarily in a pejorative sense, but like this is something I could understand them being like, yeah, this hits the quadrants. We got action. We got diversity. We got Leo. We're doing all this cool stuff. Our bad guys are very, very bad. Like, we're doing the thing.
The Christmas Adventurers. Hail Saint Nick. That's funny.
Yeah, it was funny. Yes, it was funny.
Oh, and your guy from Billy Madison, the guy who says the line at the end where he's like, now that is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Jim Downey.
Yeah.
He's one of the Christmas Adventurers.
Yeah. Listen, there was a lot to like about the film. I didn't hate my time there. I enjoyed it. But the 5-star feels like I'm missing something.
Well, you're always a little like...
Sure, but like, I don't know. No. Like, I'm thinking of 4-star movies. I'm like, that would be my equivalent. What are 4-star movies I liked? And this isn't close to them.
Wow.
You know?
Wow. Well, I mean... Yeah, your tastes are a little different.
Yeah, maybe people are sort of more like treating it like a studio film and less like a PTA film. And so they're going in with different expectations. Mm-hmm. How's the movie doing at the box office?
Surprisingly pretty good.
Okay.
For what everyone was like freaking out about.
So it had a slow start, but now it's ramping up?
So far, before this weekend, it's made $50 million worldwide.
Before this coming weekend, $50 million.
And during the week on Tuesday, it had like a pretty good like bump up for like Half Price Tuesday day.
What did Warner Brothers want it to be for opening weekend?
I think they were projecting about 20 to 25, and it made about 23.
They were like, all right, we're expecting 20, and they still put $120 million into it?
Paul Thomas Anderson has never opened a movie maybe past like $5 billion. Like his movies don't make money.
Then why give him $120 million? Why, like, if your expectation is $20 million, how are you expecting to make?
Because the heads of the studio are his friends now.
Oh, they are.
They have been the people behind all of the big movies this year. And one of his main, like, the guy, I believe, who greenlit Boogie Nights for him back at New Line time, is the head of, like, the movie projects at Warner Brothers.
Right,
like,
so they're fine playing the long game on this because they're like, yeah.
Which is what Sinners was. Sinners?
No. Sinners actually made a lot of money at the box office. I don't think this movie's going to make the budget back. So they're just like, we're going to make a lot of money in ancillary markets later on. We're going to make money for decades on this film.
I feel like that's, like, they're like, we'd like to have, like, this in our catalog.
Well, that's great. I mean, that's always how I've pitched my projects to people. Mm-hmm. And it already is low budget. So, like, it's very easy to make that money back and then some. But with $120 million, they probably also have another $100 million in marketing. Like, that's a tall ask.
I know, but, like, you see it all on the screen. It's all there.
Sure. That's fine.
He's not wasting any shit on, like, but I think The Rock needs, like, a few million more added to his.
The Rock is paying himself. Like, that's a whole different can of worms.
Well, in this new one, I guess.
I'm thinking like Red One. He gave himself $50 million because him and the Garcias that always work with him produced that. And also, him and the Garcias produced The Smashing Machine. So,
oh, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah. It was Benny Safdie's first, and then it's The Rock, and then all the other people that usually produce The Rock stuff.
I saw there was a $7 Productions on there.
Yes,
so
I saw that
okay.
too. But then I saw, like, Hiram Garcia, Danny Garcia. I know these names. I've seen them before.
That's The Rock's ex-wife.
Yeah. Oh, surprise. They got on board too. Okay, well, then let's talk about that movie, shall we?
Yeah, thank you.
Let me drink the water.